else to say there. Figured I'd upload. Um, this is a new series. I know I should really stop starting new shit before I finish something else. I just can't help it. Uh, I will be starting a new series at some point. It's called Issei the Broken Wings. There was another Whatever doing it, but he ended up stopping the series, and I thought it was a good series, so I figured I'd read it on my channel. Anyhow, this is what if Issei fell into despair. Not gonna lie, I'm really not sure how I'm gonna start this, because I really don't have any particular good ideas at the moment, but I will try. Well, let us begin. We're going to go ahead and begin this what if, as we see Issei standing in a very dark void, with a rather glazed look to his eyes. He would just be standing there, not really moving, no physical movement otherwise than that, no twitches of the fingers or anything. He would just be standing there. As the look in his eyes would begin to change slightly, it would only show despair. Now, at a young age, Issei has always been a happy child. Nothing particularly wrong with him. He's always enjoyed life and anything about it. But over the years, that would have changed, starting with the death of his parents at the hands of a local serial killer who would have been caught and apprehended, or who would have been apprehended and executed afterwards. He would then find himself in the orphanage within Tokyo. This did not end well for him, as he grew up rather roughly. His personality would be a lot more different while growing up, though he found himself using a mask, something to help him cope. This mask would be a mask of happiness and perversion. This perversion would also come with a patheticness to it. This would make it seem like he was not a threat, therefore making people underestimate him. Now, we go back to current Issei, as he would still be in this dark void. He would be then flung into strange images of all events up to now. Now, I'll say that it has been about a year since he became a devil. The events of canon have almost happened, well, almost all of them at least. We would be going up to at least around the point of the Holy Sword. Now that I think about it, what the hell was we even doing in Season 3? Let me check real quick. Hold up. I apologize for this. It's been a while since I've watched High School DxD, I'm not gonna lie. Oh? Mushoku Tensei new episode? That means what if Itachi was in Mushoku Tensei is gonna be coming back for Season 2. That's nice. Well, anyhow. Let us see here. High School DxD. Okay, so it's about the time of summer break, pretty much. Well, anyhow, Issei would find himself reliving everything that has happened in his life up until now. Now, the Hyodos, I'll say this now, are his adoptive family. So, that's just some information given. Issei would see everything that has happened up until now. He would see when his parents were murdered, how he sat there and watched the man do it, as the man would have laughed in glee at making a young boy despair at the loss of his family. He would then see all his years growing up in an orphanage until being adopted by the Jairos. Now, the Hyodos, they are very loving towards Issei, to the point where they are aware of his mask, and they do not, they don't feel shame when it comes to their son, as they were never to have kids themselves. Issei was more of a blessing than anything, though they were quite saddened at the fact that Issei felt the need to wear a mask. Well, anyhow. As over these years, they just grew used to it. Issei would then see all of the memories of him in the ORC, his love for Rias Gremory, but now it's only left diminished. He would not actually want to be a harem king. He only said that to keep up with his persona. Now, he would think of when he had rescued Rias from her forced arranged marriage, and when he helped Kiba get over the loss of his comrades, and when they had to fight Kokobio, as well as when he had to fight Vali at the peace treaty meeting between the three factions. He would then find himself up to now, where he would be in this dark void. As he would be standing there, after having relived everything, he would look up to see a bright glowing green eye that would be glaring down at him. Issei would only look up at the large eye with disinterest. The eye would then close, leaving him in total darkness once more. Issei would wake up in a cold sweat. He would find himself in his room. He would look around slightly frantically. Issei would get dressed for school, as he would eat breakfast with his mother and father. Issei wouldn't find himself bothering to put up his mask in front of his parents at the moment, as he would just have a blank look on his face. His mother would say, "Issei, dear, are you alright?" Issei would look at his mother, as he would say, "Yes, Mom, I'm fine. I just don't really feel all that well, I guess. I'm sure I'll be alright, though." Issei's mother and father would share a worried look between each other before smiling. "Okay, dear. Well, do you want to stay home today?" Issei would look at his mother and say, "No, I think it'll be all right." His mother would only smile. "All right, dear. Well, I'll take your plate once you're finished eating and just head off to school." Issei would only nod. Issei would be walking to school as he would find himself thinking, I wonder if life would be better if I had just stayed human, or just not gone on a date with Rainier. Perhaps if I did that, I would still be able to keep my own humanity and not have to lie to my parents about every little damn thing. He would look in front of him to see the ORC who lived with him, well, except for Kiba. He would find himself sending a very dirty look towards Rias, but it would not be noticed by her as she was happily talking with Akeno and Nasia. They would continue to walk as Issei would get to school. He would just walk off to his class without saying anything to anyone of the ORC. He would find himself in class. He would be resting his head on his arms on his desk, with a rather bored look on his face. He would glance out the window, looking up at the sky. I wonder what it'd be like to be a cloud. So quiet, peaceful. He wouldn't have to deal with anybody's crap. This is when the voice of his friend Matsuda and Morohama, the voices of his friends Matsuda and Morohama, the perverted baldy and the perverted glasses, as they are known through the school, would walk up towards Issei. As Matsuda would be standing there, he would then say, "Hey, Issei, I just got these new DVDs. You want to come over and watch it with me and Motohama?" Issei would look at his quote-unquote friend as he would say, have you ever thought about how gay that sounds?" Both Matsuda and Motohama would immediately pale before returning to their normal skin tone. Motohama would then say, "No, it's not. It's simply sharing our brotherhood." Issei would only sigh as he would look back towards the window. "No, if you're gay, you're gay. I mean, who in the hell wants to watch porn with their friends? That's weird." Matsuda would back up his friend as he would say, No, it's not." Issei would only look at them for a second. "Go away. I really don't feel like dealing with you two today." Everybody in the class went silent at that. You could almost hear a pen drop. Everybody would be looking at Issei a little weirdly as Issei would turn. "What are you all looking at?" Everybody would look away and continue their conversations, though this time around the topic being Issei. Both Motohama and Matsuda would only walk away with scowls on their face, but they would be a bit pale at what Issei had just said. We skip to about lunch, as Issei would find himself sitting under a tree, eating a bento that his mother made him. Just being an onigiri and teriyaki chicken, or whatever the hell people eat in Japan. No offense, of course, because, Japanese people got bussin'-ass food, so that's just a given. Anyhow, Issei would be sitting there, the same bored expression on his face. He would then look up at the clouds once more. Man, maybe I should have just taken up that offer of not going to school today. Everybody's being so damn loud. It's so irritating. Issei would then look towards the old school building where he could see Rias playing chess with Akeno, as he would clench his fist, thinking about Rias. Now, the reason why he has such a hatred towards Rias, well, we'll just go to a flashback, I suppose. Flashback. Issei would be making his way towards the club room with a grin on his face, thinking about how he was planning on confessing to Rias. After all they've been through, Issei would find himself at the door. As he would be looking through, Rias would be sitting there on her desk with a smile on her face, as she would be talking to some boy. This boy would have a strange look to him, as he would have black hair and dark blue eyes, and a mole under his left lip, under the left side of his face, under his lip. Rias would have a slight blush on her face, as well as the boy would as well, as Rias would then say, "Haruto, so, about joining my peerage, I suppose that I might be able to find another spot for you, though it'll take a while until I can think of what to do with your sacred gear." As Haruto would smile and say, "Oh, of course, Bucho. Thank you for your offer." As he would smile, Rias would then walk towards him, placing her hand on his cheek as she would smile at the boy. "No worries, my dear. As you are very lovable, I could not think of not adding you to my peerage."